So good evening and welcome to the Scare Tour Sunday Synopsis for Sunday, July the 26th, 2020. So this has been a pretty huge week for the scare attractions industry. There's been a lot going on, so let's dive into what's happened due to coronavirus, what's not happening due to coronavirus, and what else has been announced. So the big one, although it's not UK based, the absolutely massive news that came this week was that Halloween Horror Nights in Florida and Universal is now cancelled. The fact that the biggest Halloween event in the world has had to cancel due to coronavirus is very, very important. It does mean that there is a large increase in cases in Florida and California, but it does show that somewhere as large as Universal Studios cannot find a safe way to present a Halloween event, keep people safe and keep social distancing and do everything that needs to be done. So that is a massive impact for the whole scare attraction industry. As for what else will happen in Florida, whether Busch Gardens Howlow Scream will follow beyond that, as people probably know, we as Brits, we're not able to travel to the US at the moment, but that is a pretty big thing. So our hearts do go out to the staff and the families and friends and everyone who's been involved in Halloween Horror Nights. But I think you've made the right decision, and yeah, that event isn't going to go ahead. But over here in the UK, what else isn't going ahead because of coronavirus? So only this morning it was announced that Blackpool Pleasure Beach would not be holding Journey to Hell Freak Nights. Now, we're not going to pull any punches. We weren't impressed with this event last year. It was quite badly run. It was quite incohesive. We weren't really sure what was going on. But we had heard some rumours about new people involved with it this year, and we were quite excited for what they were going to do. And the fact they've announced that it's not going to happen is, again, pretty indicative of what's going on. What this means for Passage del Terra, we're not too sure about. But Blackpool Pleasure Beach have cancelled all shows and cancelled Journey to Hell Freak Nights. So it's going to be interesting to see what happens there. Let's just jump back abroad again. So Horrorland in Spain. So for those who saw our review last year or have seen the awards or whatever, we absolutely loved Horrorland. Horrorland is probably one of the best scare attractions we have ever visited. And the fact they now have to shut down to 6 days only at reduced capacity is really going to impact them. So our hearts go out to David, Christina and the rest of the team at Horrorland. We really feel sorry for you, and we just hope that you can survive what's going on. But as anyone who's read the news today, coronaviruses are increasing in Spain and in Barcelona. We've currently put a lockdown. The UK has put a lockdown in, so you can't actually travel to the area. And it just means there's a lot going on. So any events this year are highly risky, and we've got no idea whether they're definitely going to happen. Coming back home, let's talk about Fort Park Fright Night. So this is an interesting one. They had a long period. They were going to start on about the 6th of October. They then cancelled that and moved everything back to just a 2-week period over half term starting the 17th of October. And this week they changed the dates again to show that they'll be starting on the 9th of October, so a week earlier. They will now be including some Friday nights in their lineup, but they will be closing at 9 o'clock. So one of the joys about going to Fright Nights is it's dark, it's winter, and you can ride the rides in the dark. So they're closing at 10 o'clock, closing at 9 o'clock now instead of 10 o'clock. Really is quite interesting. So we just need to wait and see what's going on there. We're not even sure if the Ents team or people like that are actually back in the park. So we will have to see what happens going forward. In other news, over in Holland, jumping back over to Europe, Scare Me, the incredible Scare Me in Almere, which is very close to Amsterdam, have announced that they will be running a Halloween season from the October through to November. Now, if you've not done this before, if you've not seen the reviews, this is a small independent attraction, but they know what they're doing. Some brilliant scares, some great ideas. They were nominated for a number of awards this year. And if we can actually travel over to Holland and restrictions don't stop us going, we would love to go over again. We've been over a couple of times and it is a really good event. Back to the UK, the zombie events have now announced that they're going to start reopening, all again with COVID restrictions and new ways of working, but zombie infection will start again this Friday on the 31st of July. And we also have zombie infection, which will be starting on the 1st of August. These events will now run through the rest of the year and into next year, and it's worth checking out their websites to see what's going on. Other UK news is that Extreme Scream Park at Twin Lakes have announced they will be recruiting. So that means they are looking to open for the Halloween season. At the moment, the website doesn't have any indication about what they've got, what they're going to do. But remember, a couple of their attractions are very, very close proximity. They're very tight. Think of the mattresses in Stilton Hall. Think of the prison cells in Ash Hill Penitentiary. So they will need to be changed. Social distancing is not going to be going anywhere by Halloween. So it'll be interesting to see what happens with them. But the fact they are recruiting means they are now looking forward to going ahead. Next up, let's talk about the dungeons. So we mentioned earlier on that the London Dungeon have changed their website and removed some of the lineup, but they still haven't announced a date for when they're opening. For those who aren't aware, all the other dungeons are currently open apart from London and Blackpool and San Francisco, which is under a completely different lockdown. But London still hasn't announced that when they're going to open. But this week we have now seen that Blackpool Tower Dungeon will open on August the 1st. Now, how this is going to work is going to be reduced capacity, cleaning, social distancing, blah, 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 blah. Have a look at a review we posted on Scare Tour of York Dungeon when we went through fairly recently. You'll be able to see what the social distancing rules actually means for a dungeon attraction. It's quite exciting because it does give us an idea of what a scare attraction could be like going forward. But it's all quite interesting. So Blackpool Tower Dungeon opens next Saturday. London Dungeon is still undecided and the rest of them are open. We've also had news this week that the Circus of Horrors is now going back out on tour. One of the big things was that circuses are not allowed to perform, but that's now been released. So they are going to have a socially distant tour and they will go live. One final thing, there's been a lot of escape rooms opening over the last couple of weekends, and we've listed a lot on our website, so do go and have a look at that. But while we were looking at that, Blackout Escape Rooms, which used to be called Escape MK in Milton Keynes, they are teasing a brand new room called Nightmare. So we really enjoyed their Cabin in the Woods game review on the website, so do go and check that out. So there we go. That is the news for this week. It's going to be what we're finding at the moment. Every week is good news and bad news for every attraction that thinks they can open because of COVID-19 and the current relaxation of the restrictions. There are a lot of events that are saying they cannot do it. We know for a fact there are a number of events that are about to announce very soon they will not open for Halloween. We can't say until they've officially announced, but there are some very, very big names about to say they will not be opening for Halloween. So what does this mean for us? So yes, we can go out and support the small events. Do try and get out if you can to support as many events as you can. Everyone's been screwed by this. Nobody expected what was going to happen, and some of the bigger events are going to be tied down by the rules about social distancing, keeping people apart, reducing numbers and whatever. But we are going to have a Halloween season. I'm confident there is going to be some light at the end of the tunnel. It's not going to be a Halloween like any Halloween that we've had before, but we have to get over this. We have to do what we need to do. So don't forget, you now have to wear a mask in shops. You will have to wear a mask during scare attractions. You will have to stay distant from people. As I said at the start, social distancing is not going to go anywhere. So it's worth buying yourself a mask. There are a couple of Scare Tour masks available. Find something comfortable. You are going to have to go in a mask to an event, but there are some things available. And if they do open, do give them some support. But also don't get upset if large attractions can't open. They are doing everything they can to open and give us an event that we can enjoy. They're losing money hand over fist by not opening, but the regulations say they can't open. So it's going to be sad. It's going to be a terrible Halloween, but it's only 1 year. You know, we had to cancel ScareCon, so that hasn't happened. We've had to put everything back till next year. Let's all stay safe. Wear face masks where we can. Protect the NHS. I sound like a politician now, don't I? And just let's get through this. So to all those attractions that are about to announce that they're going to close, we respect what you're saying and we understand, and we're not angry in any way. For those attractions that are trying to open, as long as you continue to follow all the guidance and keep your staff safe and your visitors safe, we will come and visit you. And yeah, it's a depressing time. It's really, really depressing. We love Halloween. I love Halloween. You guys love Halloween. But we all need to stay safe. We all need to stay pragmatic and responsible. And that's all we can say. So don't forget, there's an updated listing of all the attractions on the main website at www.scaretour.co.uk. We've got all the opening dates of zombie events, scare rooms, escape rooms, scare attractions, and whatever. We will also bring you all the latest news, all the exclusives. We'll have some competitions coming up soon. Don't forget, if you like getting the weekly update through this format, just to click the subscribe button down here. Do subscribe, do click for notifications, because you'll get the first notifications each time. And really, let's just be safe and enjoy what we can. It's not ideal. It's totally shit, but there's nothing else we can do. So with that, join the website, subscribe. We will see you next week. We guarantee we'll have a couple of more openings, and we guarantee we will have a couple more events that are not going to open this Halloween. So what can we do? So there you go. Sign in, join the website, and we will see you next week. And we don't want to sign off with a bad note, so we're just going to say stay safe, and we will see you at Halloween.